Hey, pet pros! If you're heading to Global Pet Expo and you're serious about upgrading your treat selection, you need to stop by Tilted Barn at booth number 529.
Absolutely. This is a woman owned brand doing it right. Clean ingredients, transparent sourcing, and packaging that looks incredible on the shelf.
And we mean slick, modern, premium, standout design that elevates your treat wall instantly.
But it's not just the beautiful packaging. These treats are 100% Canadian made with single source proteins, no fillers, no preservatives, no artificial anything.
Yes. And I always tell my customers they're like a healthy version of a pepperoni stick that the furry guys just cannot resist. Believe me, they're always a repeat purchase and have fantastic margins for independent retailers.
Now, here's the insider perk. Tilted Barn is including a sample of their product in our Indie Insider exclusive goodie bags at Global.
But you must be a member of the Indie Insider group to get one. So check inside the group to find out how to secure your bag at the show.
And if you're placing an order at Global, here's your bonus.
Use promo code PetShopGirls at the Tilted Barn booth when placing your show order to receive an extra 5% off of their existing show special.
Stop by, meet the team, see the packaging in person, watch all the pups begging for Tilted Barn, and discover why this brand is gaining huge traction in independent retail.
Visit them at tiltedbarnpetco.com.
That's tiltedbarnpetco.com, and maybe I'll see you at booth 529.
Hey, Sherry, before we get started, I just want to officially welcome our newest pet shop girl.
Wait, what are you talking about? What new pet shop
Well,
girl?
Okay, they've helped independent pet retailers improve buying, margins, and inventory performance for years. They understand open to buy, assortment planning, vendor strategy.
And making sure your cash isn't sitting in dead inventory on your shelves.
Wait, is that Dan?
Yes, Dan Jablons,
Pet shop girl.
I am, in fact, a retail smart guy.
which is why we trust him.
Retail Smart Guys has helped both of our stores make smarter buying decisions and improve inventory in a real, measurable way. They helped me grow my store's raw food sales by 20% in 6 months.
Retail smart guys, we help independent pet retailers turn inventory faster, which improves cash flow and enables them to buy more strategically and make more money.
And you can learn more about them at retailsmartguys.com.
And if you use code PetShopGirls, you'll get their $1,500 retail assessment for free.
The assessment's a full review of your assortment, how you buy, how your inventory is performing, and it will give you the direction or the next steps you need to take as a store.
So, not a pet shop girl.
But definitely our favorite retail smart guy.
Well, I'll take it.
Pet Shop Girls, the voice of the indie, the heart of the trade. Pet Shop Girls, unleash your power, let's make some waves.
Hey, everybody, I'm Sherry.
And I'm Carly.
Welcome back to the Pet Shop Girls podcast. We have a special guest today, and his name is Carter Easler. He's with CBD Dog Health, and he is a clinical researcher and educator focused on longevity and cognitive health in aging pets. As principal investigator of the Senior Dog Study, he explores how functional mushrooms and cannabinoids may support brain health in senior dogs. His work helps veterinarians, retailers, and pet parents apply emerging natural therapies with confidence, and we're going to get into it today. Welcome, Carter.
Hey, thank you. Yeah,
Yay.
let's get into it.
Well, okay, I think the first place that I want to go with this, Carter, is tell me what prompted CBD Dog Health to do this study in the first place.
I mean, it is really a labor of love. It's super personal for me and for our founder, Angela Arlino. We owned and operated a rescue for senior dogs in Florida for over 20 years. And so many of the animals that came in, we would see these various conditions, and I would watch as Angela would change out their diet and start incorporating different herbs and functional modalities. And you'd see these vast differences in their quality of life. But back before MycoDog started, which is our brand that studied these mushrooms for cognitive decline, we didn't really have something that could help senior dogs with cognitive decline. And so Angela really went into this deep dive of what is available traditionally. What do traditional medicinal practices use for this? What does the current research say about this? And medicinal mushrooms were the answer. We had this 15-year-old beagle mix named Daisy who she was lovely. She was kind of a crotchety old lady, and really kind of suddenly we just saw her cognition start to change. She would go outside, forget what she was doing out there, and then come inside and pee in the house, which is something she would never do.
Right.
She would be getting lost in corners. She got way more intolerant of younger dogs getting in her space. And Angela pretty quickly recognized, like, oh, this is what dementia looks like in dogs. And it's really similar to how humans experience it. And so that is one of the cases on our rescue that really inspired this formulation, our Clarity formula, that is tailored to neurological, cognitive, and brain support for not only senior dogs, but really kind of any dog that's got some brain and neurological issues.
I really wish I would have known about y'all's stuff, your products, when I had my old Brussels Griffon. I had never seen dementia in a dog before, and it is real.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's difficult. So this is
Yeah.
a first of its kind study, right? Like,
It is.
can you walk us through like what went on and how you did it, and then what are the results? What can we take away too?
Absolutely. It has been such a labor of love for me. I've been working on this for over 2 years. And as soon as I got the go ahead from our team to start working on this, I went out and I sought to find veterinarians who were really experienced in how do you do good science, and how do we make sure that what we're producing isn't skewed. It's not just like the way that pharmaceutical companies just create these very narrow scope pieces of research that end before the symptoms of all the side effects start showing up. So I really wanted to focus on creating something that hadn't been studied before, that mushrooms for canine dementia has not been published. There's no research on it yet. So this is the first time it's been studied, but it's kind of shocking that it is, because it's something that is quite common. I mean, by age 13, 30% of dogs experience cognitive decline. By 15, it's more than 2/3. And it's even more prevalent in large breed dogs as they tend to age faster. So I started working with this veterinarian who really specialized in clinical research in veterinary medicine. And he actually was quite traditional in his view. He wanted to temper my experience. He's like, oh, well, the best that we can hope for is that nothing changes. And I don't expect a lot. And I was like, well, let's see, Joel, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we took in over 700 applicants for the study and whittled that down to a really concise cohort of 30 dogs who exhibited a range of the different behaviors that are associated with its cognitive decline. We screened them for 16 different unique behaviors, including their sleep quality, their nighttime rest interruptions, their kind of association and interaction with people and other pets in the house soiling. And so we could create a really great cross section of the dynamic expression of this really complicated condition. Brought all of them in and started monitoring them for a 2-week phase before we gave them anything, just to set a baseline value. And that's something that we measured with a number of different ways. Like I said, a really kind of exhaustive list quantifying those different behaviors from an owner perspective that they're filling out on a weekly basis so that they can track what's changing, and then aligning that with data that we're getting from a monitoring collar that tracks all of their activity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So how long are they sleeping? How many times is their rest interrupted? what is their activity like during the day? Is it pretty
Oh, it's
lazy?
like an
Is it more
aura
vigorous?
ring. It's
Exactly.
aura ring for dogs. Okay, got it.
Exactly. Yeah. Which, if you guys have pets and you want to kind of understand them better, it taught us so much. We got so much incredible data from that. I mean, through those monitoring devices, we were able to show that during the 8-week course of the study, average sleep time increased by 12% in our cohort.
Nice.
Rest interruptions dropped by 45%. So from an
Wow.
average of 20 per night to 11.
Then they'd be less cranky too.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I know, I don't know about you guys, but like when I'm not slept,
Yep.
my brain is like moving through soup. I'm more
Yeah.
agitated, but even more than that, like immunologically and in terms of just like structure and function of the brain, the nervous system, the body needs that sleep time to reset and repair so that it can have that generative expression of those
Right.
systems.
Right. So I think I misspoke when we started because Miss Angela with her CBD dog health and MycoDog, like to me, it's like it's one, but I know it's different. So, but this study was conducted by MycoDog, the mushroom side of the
Yes.
company.
Yes.
Did we incorporate any CBD into the study, or it was just based on mushrooms?
This was just mushrooms. So we
Okay,
wanted to kind of
amazing.
narrow the field, not add any extra bells and whistles that could confuse it and cause changes that
Then we
couldn't
don't know what's
directly
working.
attribute.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So then one more crazy Canuck question. Did we use a specific type of mushroom, or was it a blend of many medicinal mushrooms?
Yeah. So whenever we're working with medicinal mushrooms, an important thing to know is that they work so well together. They
Yeah.
have this synergy with one another where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So you see these even greater effects when you combine them than if you just kind of add up their own individual effects. And they really support one another. And so our formula Clarity, which is what we studied in this, contains lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, and then those are 3 mushrooms, and then 2
Yeah.
other herbs, ashwagandha, great for
Nice.
stress control,
Yeah.
cortisol, and then Bacopa monnieri, which is a lesser known herb, but another one that is a powerhouse in inducing neurogenesis, which is the creation of new neurons, these specialized brain cells that communicate electrical energy. And so with that combination, you're coming at that senior dog, that kind of slow degradation of the nervous system from a really, really lot of different angles. It's super
Yeah.
supportive.
And sorry, Sherry, I know I'm jumping in here. Regular dosing, like what would be indicated for a regular dog, or were we doing increased dosages?
So the dogs in our study were in a range of states of their condition, from more mild to quite advanced. And so the way that we recommend serving size for mushrooms is with some accordance to the severity of their condition.
Okay.
And so pretty standardized, though. They were receiving a total of 3 milliliters of our extract per day in
Okay.
2 servings. So
Yeah.
one in the morning and one at night. And this is a best case scenario.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of pet parents that we're going to talk to in retail situations where they can do it once a day and they
Yeah.
might be forgetting. But best to be consistent, recognizing that it's got about a 12-hour half-life. Most of it is going to be digested through the body after 12 hours. So if you want 24-hour coverage, we want to do it twice a day.
Okay.
And were all these dogs, they kept on their same diet that they were on before?
Yep. So
Yeah,
we try and
because if you
keep
change the
all
diet,
the
we
variables
wouldn't
the
know.
same.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was so hard though in meeting these
To
people.
feed crap food.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, this dog could really use some CBD, or this dog
Yeah.
really needs to get off that Purino right now. But let's
Well,
keep it consistent.
you could put together a follow-up report card after the study to say, here's the recommendations we have to improve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was like, okay, now that we're done, I'm sending you some Heal. I'm sending you some Remedy.
So
how long did it take before we started seeing noticeable results?
So on average, we saw changes to sleep and rest in under a week.
Nice.
So there's kind of an immediate. What's really cool about the way these different mushrooms work is there's sort of gradiated effects. Some things happen immediately.
Yeah.
For instance, reishi mushroom is one of these mushrooms. None of them are psychoactive, first of all. But
Yeah.
reishi is one that really does have a sensory experience of just calming the nervous system. It
Yes.
really helps to just chill the body and the mind out. It's what I give my dog Archie when we go to do global or something.
Yeah.
So you see Archie and he's chilling. He's on hella CBD and reishi. I mean, 2-year-old
Nice.
cattle dog.
But
It's,
that makes sense, right? Because reishi is so effective too at combating allergies. So if it's calming the immune system, which is responding to the allergen, that
Yep.
I know we had a customer in store, and her poor dog, like, she had allergies and nobody could fix it for her. She said, for 5 years I've been going to the vet, nothing. I recommended reishi or chaga. She chose reishi. She messaged me that night, 6 hours after she gave the reishi. And she's like, I don't know if you can see the difference, but I can already in my girl's eyes. And she's
Oh,
like,
wow.
you fixed in a day what I couldn't get fixed with a vet for 5 years. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
so awesome, right?
That
But,
must
I
feel
mean,
good.
right? It didn't go away, but
Yeah.
but the poor girl actually saw some relief for her poor
Mm.
little crusty eyes from allergy season. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, Sherry, I know you were chomping at the bit. Ask your question. I know what you're going to ask.
I would love to know, where is this published? Has it been recognized by any scientific publications?
Yeah, so it is published in the Journal of Clinical Medical Research. It was peer reviewed by that journal. So when you publish a report, first you publish the preliminary report, and then you submit it to these medical journals that before they are willing to publish it, they go through and make sure that the science makes sense.
Yeah.
That you submit all the data to them, that they have their scientists who specialize in these fields go through it and make sure that you're not
Fudging the
messing
numbers.
anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can find the published study at seniordogstudy.com. That's kind of our catch-all landing page for this.
We'll
And-
include that link in our show notes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got a link there that is for anybody who's still interested in participating. We're going to launch another virtual cohort for everybody who has been submitting to learn more about this and to be part of
Nice.
our next round. So if there's anybody out there who's got a senior dog, you're seeing some changes to, and you're like, I don't know if this is CCD, I don't know what's going on, but they're just not the same as they used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd
What
love to help.
about kitties? What about the cats? Would this
Yeah.
apply?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, cats, dogs, humans, we all experience this syndrome of cognitive decline, dementia, Alzheimer's, and our cats are definitely not vulnerable or not exempt from that. And that's something that we actually mention in the study. But we have a whole line called Myco Cats. We have Clarity for Cats as well. So it's definitely
Good.
something
Okay.
that's available.
You know, I just heard on another podcast that I was listening to, and she's basically like a brain expert, doctor of the brain, all the things she's studying the brain. And she was specifically talking about dementia and cognitive health. And she said that, like, something around I can't remember exactly. It was like 95% of all dementia is preventable because it
Mhm.
comes down to lifestyle. And
Yes.
and so she said, for humans, our brain starts to, I don't want to say decay, that was not her word, but for lack of better words, decay by age 30. And that's
Wow.
when dementia starts. And you
Yes.
just start to see worse symptoms in our 60s, 70s, 80s. So yeah, dogs, like exercise. That was the big thing that she kept
Right.
talking about.
Oh, it's huge.
Heavy weight lifting.
Right.
Is what she
Yes.
said is the thing that helps them.
Weightlifting.
Heavy weights.
Yeah.
Heavy weights,
Wow.
low reps. Yeah, that's
Right.
what she was
Okay.
talking about. Anyways, totally
it-
off topic.
No, it's not. It's like, it's totally part of it, because that heavy weightlifting is something that is focused on generative approaches, creating, allowing the body to be actually growing and creating new connections, especially in the brain. Like
And
when
pumping
as
the
you-
blood to the brain.
Yeah,
is-
And the
because it's
blood,
and
yeah,
the
blood.
dopamine.
generative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
And you're right. This concept of neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons in the brain, it declines as we get older. And what we were able to show through our data, through the blood biomarkers that we took, one of these other objective pieces of data that we studied, we were able to show that this biomarker BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor, this is an indicator of neurogenesis. And we saw a 36% rise in BDNF in our cohort.
Wow.
So big bump to the creation of new connections and neurons in the brain.
Yeah. And the
then
furry
that
guys wouldn't be lifting heavy weights. They're just
and they
getting
can't do the
mushrooms.
weightlifting.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I suppose you
right.
could put a weighted vest on. Who's
Or
gonna go
turn them
to
into
a senior
snow
dog?
dogs,
Yeah.
sled
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah. I mean, but that's so important for any senior dog. Mobility, getting the blood pumping, getting outside,
Yeah.
sun exposure, getting the
I think
airways
a
open.
lot of people don't walk their dogs because
Yeah.
they think, oh, I have a yard.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And play with them and interact with them. And like the social parts of it are so important
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Quick pause, because we want to talk about a dry food that actually deserves the praise it gets.
Are you talking about carnivore? Because I love carnivore. I have carried it for years, and it's my number one selling dry food.
And I bet one of the biggest reasons is how it's made. Carnivore uses whole food ingredients, no synthetics, and it's air-baked, not extruded like traditional kibble. That alone puts it in a completely different category.
Exactly. It's much less processed than kibble, but you still get that scoop and go convenience that customers want.
Which makes it a great fit for parents who care about real nutrition but still need something practical.
And I always explain it to my customers as a raw food alternative. It's perfect for raw feeders when they're traveling, boarding their pet, or dealing with a pet sitter who just doesn't want to touch raw food.
That comes up constantly, doesn't it? It's a real-world problem for a lot of pet parents.
Right? And it helps customers stay consistent without compromising what they believe in.
Plus, it's a Canadian family-run company that's been doing things thoughtfully long before better dry food became a trend.
And if a store is looking for a true gold standard dry option, they can stand behind carnivore with confidence because it belongs on the shelf.
Agreed. And it's one of those products that makes educating customers easier because the integrity is already built in, and I can't wait to get it into my store.
If you're interested in bringing carnivore into your store, visit their website at www.carnivore, that's CARNA4.com. Okay, so Carter, if we look at this kind of from a retailer's lens, what would you say was kind of it surprised you the most when you were reviewing the data from this study? And like, I guess the way that I'm looking at this is as a retailer, what information would you pull out of there to give me to be able to help my customer with this type of info, aside from everything that we've talked about?
Yeah. Well, I think that this is such a personal, subjective study because the way that it affects our pet parents is like it's deeply affecting to watch your best friend fade away. And so these pet parents are really dealing with something that's very challenging and oftentimes very disruptive of lifestyle. You're getting woken up through the night with dogs that are waking up for no reason. They're peeing in the house. You feel like you can't leave them at home alone because you're worried about them. One of the pet parents in our study, she was a nurse and she was having to cancel her overnight shifts because she would look on the camera and the dog would be wandering in the middle of the night when they never used to do that.
Yeah.
So I think that there's like a quality of life side of this, both for the dogs and for the pet parents, where it's this kind of feedback loop of the dog's not doing well, so you're not doing well, then they get more stressed, and then the dog picks up on that. And so it's really personal, and it can make a huge difference to kind of the whole household, the whole energy of the house, to not have to be present to just a real kind of slow drain from the shine of your pet.
Yeah.
And really just
Okay,
focusing
yeah.
on sleep, as sleep being one of the kind of primary things. Everybody can get down with, you want more sleep? This can help.
So
Sure. I struggled with that too when my senior dog was going through this. I had to change my lifestyle to accommodate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Okay, so obviously, if we had pet parents coming in with concerns that sleep is being interrupted, what would be some of those other telltale signs or symptoms that the pet parent might be seeing change in behavior with the animal that they would go, mushrooms could help you here?
Yeah.
Because maybe, Pupper, if we're going to ask all those questions, how old is he? Oh, he's 14. Oh, he's 17. He's 19. Okay, maybe it could be a little bit of doggy dementia. So what are some of those other symptoms or keywords that we would listen for to say mushrooms is probably a good addition here?
I think just monitoring changes to familiar behaviors is a big one in whatever kind of your dog's daily life is or your cat's daily life is. So for instance, one of the dogs in our study, her name is Jessie. Her dog mom is a breeder of these scent hounds and does scent hound training for professional canine use. And Jessie was sort of the matriarch of this brood and was used to train the younger dogs. Well, she started forgetting commands and not being able to complete the courses that she normally would be able to. And that's what piqued her guardian's eye to, okay, maybe something is happening here structurally to the brain and nervous system. And so if they are not able to do things that you've always known them to do, different commands, if you see them sleeping more during the day, sundowning. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I
I also just like look in their eyes. See, can they focus on you? Are they smiling at you? Are they engaged in play? Do they want to play as much anymore? Are they getting a little bit more crotchety and less patient as they get older?
Yeah.
But even if we kind of look beyond the scope of CCD, because it can sound really specific, I think that every senior dog can benefit from reishi for inflammation, for calming, for sleep. Cordyceps. Cordyceps is an amazing mushroom, which some of its specialization is in helping blood oxygenation, helping the lung tissue actually bring more oxygen into the blood, more oxygen in the blood, more oxygen to the brain. And cordyceps also is fantastic on a cellular level to help the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, to create more energy. So you're getting this like systemic energy up for more wakefulness, more vitality during the day. And then at the night times, better sleep, better consolidation, better generation, healing of those tissues. So it's not just calm down, go to sleep. It's also during the day, we want them expending energy and running around and being active so that rest can truly be restored.
Right.
So even if a dog isn't showing signs yet, like how early is like too early, you think, to start a proactive regimen? And could this benefit a dog that isn't showing signs at all?
Absolutely. I mean, my 2-year-old dog, I'm just rotating between our different 4 tinctures. We've got Vitality for autoimmune and cancer. We've got Digest for gut microbiome and digestive support. Clarity, obviously, what we're talking about today. And then Breathe, our respiratory tincture. I rotate those with him. I put it in his food. He's a young dog, and it just helps with that systemic support. The other thing is some dogs are just going to have genetic predispositions. If I had a Cavalier King Charles, I'd be looking at heart issues. If I had a large breed dog, a golden retriever or something, I'd be looking at cellular health and making sure that we're not getting any lumps and bumps happening. So I don't think it's ever too soon, but I think that having a good eye on what we're actually focusing on helps us narrow down which tools are going to be best to anticipate those issues that are coming.
This is a random question that just popped into my head. Sorry, Carly. We're talking about putting these tinctures in the pet's food.
Yeah.
If you put it in goat milk and then freezed it and like did it in a frozen lickable treat toy type thing, does that bastardize it at all?
No, that's how I do it. I got one of those that green ball thing that you can make the inserts. That's how it's the easiest way for me. I mean, because I can just batch them for the week, and I know that Archie's getting his mushrooms that way every day.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't heat it up though. Like I wouldn't then I wouldn't
Yeah.
cook a dog's food with it in there. That could break it down a little bit.
So if
Better to
somebody's
just put it out on
making,
top.
say somebody did like home cooking for their pet, you want to make the food, let it cool, then you could add the mushrooms, then you could probably freeze it and it would still be good.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here's my question, being up
Hmm.
in Canuck land and for the rest of my Canucks. Or anybody, I guess, who doesn't have access to MycoDog, because at this point, we currently don't, but that's soon to be hopefully changing.
Soon to
And
change.
soon to change. In the meantime, though, those of us in Canada or around the world probably do have access to other mushroom products.
Yep.
Would it be like we should be doing some sort of a blend? Is it one type would be better than the other? Like, what would you suggest if we can't actually get the MycoDog products?
And how can you tell it's a quality product?
Right. So we will be in Canada soon. We've actually got one retailer who is just making it work, and she is selling online.
I've heard this
across the country. So I can't speak to how she's doing that, but she's doing it.
Yeah.
But okay, here's my hit list. If you were looking for medicinal mushrooms for your dog, cat, your grandma, the difference between a practitioner grade therapeutic extract and something that you're going to find at a smoke shop or on Amazon is vast. So number one, you want it to be grown on its native substrate. So chaga grows on living birch bark. You want it grown on birch bark, not oats or rice or sawdust as an industrial product, because there are chemical constituents in that birch bark that then the chaga takes and it turns into those different beta glucans and things that have all these therapeutic effects. So whatever it grows on, you want it to be grown on that native substrate. The second thing, it needs to be extracted. These mushrooms have a really tough cell wall. It's called a chitin. And dogs, cats, humans, we lack the enzyme to break it down. So you gotta boil it in hot water, then process it with alcohol. For pets, we then evaporate all that alcohol off, because if you've ever had an oil or an alcohol tincture under your tongue, it sucks. And pets are even more sensitive to alcohol than we are. We also go through this kind of third step called the spagyric process that is really focused on the energetics of the mushroom, which is, in practice, you take the extracted biomass, the extracted mushroom material, and you slowly burn it down into its mineral components and then recombine that. So it's really a full spectrum representation of all those various parts. It should be potent. I mean, that seems silly, but it should be concentrated enough that you can get a therapeutic serving size without having to just load their food up with all sorts of gunk.
That's a great point, because sometimes I look at these little bottles of tinctures and you see the ingredients. There's always some carrier oil or something in there. And I'm like, okay, well, how much of the carrier oil am I buying versus the stuff that's supposed to be in there?
Right. And another thing that is a real tell if something is going to be concentrated is if they say fruiting body and mycelium. So the fruiting body is the part of the mushroom that has the highest concentration of these bioactive molecules. It's like the flower of the cannabis plant where all those good things are. The mycelium, that's kind of like the roots of the mushroom, which, not knocking mycelium, but if you're able to get the mycelium and put that in the product, that means that it was likely grown on those oats or rice. And they just take that brick of oats and they grind it all up and you get the mycelium, these really delicate little tendrils that you can't extract without that. And then you could be getting 40 to 60% oats in your final product, but it sounds like you're getting more. You're getting mycelium and fruiting body. But like in ancient China, when they are extracting reishi from these hardwood logs in the forest, they're not putting those hardwood logs into a wood chipper to get this mycelium out. This tradition has been practiced using this part of the mushroom that has been shown to have the highest therapeutic value.
And so just the fruiting body is what we're looking for, no mycelium.
Just the fruiting body.
Okay, yeah. I got it. Sorry, I'm adjusting my notes.
I guess that's kind of like when we look at a bag of dog food and it says meal versus like
meat.
Whole meat. So, yeah.
So, okay, so that's how we find a good one. But actually, when you guys were talking about the carrier oil, that just made me think, this is the very first time ever. I just had a customer in the store the other day. She's got 2 little dogs, and the one
Mhm.
is like probably smaller than Zane, or just a little fluff of a poodle. And she said, every time I try to give her mushrooms, I
Mm.
can get up to 5 drops. And as soon as I have 5 drops or more, she immediately barfs. And I'm
Oh,
like, why would
interesting.
that from a mushroom? And so I was
Mm.
thinking maybe it's the coconut oil, because that's the
Mm.
carrier oil in that one. So I
So
suggested
we
doing
actually don't
powder.
use coconut. We use an organic vegetable glycerin
Okay.
because mushrooms are different from cannabis. Cannabis and hemp extract, CBD, is fat soluble. So you use an oil for cannabis, and for mushrooms, they're water soluble. So the vegetable glycerin is something that these
It
carriers
will
are very
blend with.
necessary. Yeah, it suspends it. It is something that allows it to be shelf stable for a long time. And vegetable glycerin is great because it has this kind of gentle sweet flavor without affecting any glycemic index. It doesn't change blood sugar at all, and has a host of benefits on its own, just like MCT oil.
So
Okay.
can you dose too much? Like I'm
Mm.
pretty sure the side effect is diarrhea. But what have you noticed? What can you say about that?
Yeah, so there have been pretty extensive safety studies done on all these different mushrooms, and it has a really high safety profile. You really can't overdose on these things. The most you're going to get is maybe a little GI upset that is just the stomach going, "Whoa, what's this thing I don't recognize?" And in those cases, I'm just recommending like start low and increase your dosage over time if you know you've got a pet that has a sensitive tummy. But mushrooms are great for sensitive tummies. So it
Okay.
really is just about not kind of overdoing it at first.
Can we put it on the gum like we do CBD? Yes. Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good, because I've been telling everyone
Yeah. So that is going to be like the most bioavailable way,
to
the way
get
that
it
it's going to
right.
get in there fastest directly to the bloodstream, but it's totally fine to put it in the food as well.
Yeah. And that's what I do. Zaner's right now, he's doing his lion's mane mushrooms for his cognitive health and cellular repair. So,
Awesome.
and then I probably switch him over to the power blend. What I'm thinking is, okay, we have conversations with pet parents every day, and we're trying to explain all these beautiful things about the benefits of mushrooms. And now, without overwhelming them with science, how can we get like the main takeaway from the study in 60 seconds or less in language they'd understand?
81% of the dogs in our study either stabilized or improved in their cognitive scoring. Period.
Okay. Yeah.
It was an overwhelming majority in a way that is objective, trackable, and really speaks to the real world experience that these pet parents were facing. So it's not fluff, it's not opinion. This is hard data. And that's why we wanted to create this research.
81% is
Huge.
incredible.
Yeah.
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 Huge.
Yeah.
And
Like
you guys kind of
even
have
if there was, I would say even if there was like 40% that showed
Right.
improvement, that's
Right.
still good.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
81%, wow. Yeah.
It's an
You're double
overwhelming
then good.
majority. Double good. Maybe that's it. Well, this study was double good. So
Yes.
you should. So that's why you should trust
Oh,
it.
yeah. But you guys also have kind of a one pager with regards to the study. Now,
Yeah.
when we go to the senior dog, tell me that link again, Carter.
SeniorDogStudy.com.
Seniordogstudy.com. When we go there, do we also have access to the one pager?
Yes. Yep. There's a resources tab there that does the one pager. And that's
Perfect.
also, we've got our resource page on our wholesale website for all of our retailers listening.
Has it there?
Make sure you check out all of our digital resources because we've got everything about the senior dog study, images that you can use on social media that explain kind of what's in Clarity, as well as all of our different products. So
Yeah.
we got a lot of digital content that we share that you can share with your customers too.
What
gonna
I
say,
was thinking, sorry, was
yeah.
I was thinking for our retail listeners or our Pet Pro listeners who are regularly having conversations with pet parents talking about mushrooms, this would be
Yeah.
a great little infographic to put by your mushroom section, whether
Yeah.
you sell MycoDog or not, because maybe you can't right now. Maybe you can't get access to it because you're in Canada. But to
Yeah.
have that information around a truly natural mushroom study right by your
Yes.
mushrooms, I think would be a great talking
We
point.
do have that.
Good.
It's like a little shelf talker that you can that hangs over the edge of a shelf, and it's got a QR code on it. It says Senior Dog Study, learn more about cognitive function in senior animals. The QR code goes to seniordogstudy.com. So you can encourage
Perfect.
people to be like, there's this amazing new research that we have. It's never been done on cognitive decline using mushrooms, and you can learn about it here. It's super user friendly. It's designed not for practitioners and scientists. As if you go to the actual study itself, it's dense. It's dense. So I've kind of taken that and boiled it
And
down to
you
what
made it
people
double
need.
good.
Yeah.
Double good.
Um,
That's the new
Well,
standard.
sorry, the only reason I was going there is because we'll put the link in our website. We can't put in our show notes. We can't put the one pager, but we can put a link to that. But what we
Yep.
can do exclusively for our Substackers or like we'll post it in Substack for everybody, not just our paid members, but we can post that one pager into our Substack as well. And I think it's been shared in the Indie Insider, but we'll put it on Substack for sure just to get
yeah,
it out to more.
it's been a minute though. Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
review that. In a sea of Himalayan style chews, how do you actually stand out?
Okay, well, let's be honest. This is a saturated category. Same shape, same claims, same long-lasting yak chew story.
But Yak 9 Chews isn't just another copycat in a crowded category.
Yak 9 is actually an award-winning brand that took a traditional Himalayan chew and elevated it.
First, they don't splinter like lower quality chews can. They're dense, durable, and crafted for a safer, longer lasting chew experience that pet parents trust.
And then there's the flavor innovation. We're talking functional, differentiated options like turmeric, coconut, pumpkin, blueberry, honey, flaxseed, even strawberry. These flavors don't just sound good, they add value and help your shelf stand out.
And they're made with simple ingredients like yak milk, lime juice, salt, no artificial preservatives, high protein, easily digestible, clean label, strong sell.
And from a retailer perspective, multiple sizes, strong packaging, a lineup that merchandises beautifully and drives repeat purchases.
So if you're walking Global Pet Expo wondering whether you need another Himalayan chew,
You don't.
unless it's Yak 9.
That's right. So visit Yak 9 Chews at booth 750 at Global Pet Expo.
And while you're there, use promo code PetShopGirls at the booth for an extra little discount on top of their show special.
And you can learn more at yak9chews.com.
That's Yak 9 Chews, not just another chew. Here was my question. Do you guys have any more studies that you have lined up or want to do?
Yes.
Well, the one that they're doing
so
with
many.
everybody who wants to now, right?
Yeah. So we are expanding the senior dog study to include a second cohort. We're going to do a larger cohort this time as well to just continue to gain data and insight on this. And then once we're kind of done and have wrapped this up in a neat bow, I've got a lot of ideas about what I want to study
Yeah.
next. I've got a
What
lot.
do you like? I know you may not have it's set in stone. I know it may not be set in stone, but what would you want to do next? What's your favorite thing you would want to do?
I want to study the effect of medicinal mushrooms on gut microbiome diversity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so central to
Everything.
pretty
It's
much
your second
every
brain.
issue. Exactly.
Yeah.
People think of it just for immune health, for allergies, but looking at mental health, looking at our pets' behavior and the way that they experience the world is so tied to those microbes in their in their gut that are producing serotonin that is signaling to them that they can have a good day today.
Well, Carter,
Yeah.
we know who your wingman is because when we had the Mr. Wonderful Rodney Habib on the show,
Yes.
and we told him
another Canadian.
Yes. And we told him, you're never allowed to leave pet, but if you ever did, where would you? He's like, mushrooms. Like it came out of his mouth. He already knows he wants to do something with mushrooms. So there we go.
Hit me up,
SVG.
Rodney.
Yeah, right? There, the citizen scientist that he is. Okay, so what would kind of be our final takeaway for our pet pros with regards to if they're not super comfortable talking about mushrooms, or they're kind of like, I have mushrooms, but I know they're good for dogs. What's that? What is the wisdom that you can give them to impart on pet parents and help them feel better about or more confident about selling their own mushrooms?
Well, first of all, if you need training, education, resources, that is my whole gig. That I'm not a salesperson. I am the director of research and education, and you can email me directly, carter@mycodog.com. What I do every day, all day, is work with veterinarians, practitioners, pet pros in the retail space, and I go through the science and application of this stuff. But what I would kind of suggest people is do what you're already doing with the other areas that you really understand. If you're a nutrition specialist, if you're an herbalism guru, so much of those different functional modalities, the concepts are directly applicable to mushrooms in terms of sourcing, in terms of working with the pet that is in front of you, in terms of tracking these changes and vetting the companies and products that are really out there working with integrity and not just trying to make a quick buck.
Off the
and you
mushroom
should
hype. Yeah.
and for your pet parents, they should see the difference. If something's not working, if they're not seeing a difference, they go, I don't know if it's working or not. Try something else.
Yeah.
Try something different.
I love what you guys are doing, and thank you. Yes.
I've got one of my customers. She's got 2 little dash hounds, the poster children for IVDD. And she overheard me talking to another customer the one day because her dog had IVDD. And I was like, we need to get lion's mane into the bowl right away. And she looks at me and she says, so should my 2 girls be doing lion's mane? I'm like, yes. Why are they not? How come we haven't done this already?
Yes.
Her one girl had not moved her back legs since her surgery. It had been months. In 1 month of adding lion's mane to the bowl, she came home to find the little girl trying to scratch her ear with her back leg.
Wow.
She's like, she hadn't moved her legs in months. And all of a sudden I'm getting lion's mane in her bowl. And in a month she's moving her legs. So these are the stories that I tell my customers all the time. Like I openly admit I'm a mushroom pusher. I love what you guys are doing. I can't wait for it to be in Canada. I may have to send you my new and revised mushroom training, Carter. You can give it the once over.
Oh my God, I would love to. I'm sure we've got plenty to teach me as well. I'm forever learner.
I do. Okay,
so
well,
I wanted to talk about Global Pet Expo real quick.
Yes.
You are doing a talk there, right?
Yes, I am. It's on the 26th, which I believe is the second day of Global. It'll be at 11 a.m. at our booth, and our booth number is something
1322.
Oh my God, you are an angel. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So
she doesn't hear that very often, Carter. So she's probably not even sure what that word means.
No, so I'm so glad you guys are going to be there, and I would encourage everyone to stop by and see the products. Not only are these products super quality, but I love the packaging.
Oh, you guys nailed the packaging.
You can have gold in that bottle, but if the packaging isn't on point, like nobody cares. So I love the packaging.
That's all Angela. She's a marketing genius.
Oh yeah. It is her packaging gorgeous. And I told her that too. Like a friend of mine who now lives in Alberta, but she often comes home, and when she does, she comes and stays with Zainer and I. And Angela was generous enough to send me some stuff for my little boy. So, of course, I've got all of her stuff all out. And my friend who is not in the pet industry at all, she's like, oh my God, what is this? Oh my God, I love the packaging. Like, she had no idea what it was. She just loved the packaging.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's really
yeah.
neat to just kind of simplify that moment in store where you may be unloading an order on a Monday and you got 10 people in there and you're training somebody. You want your pet parents, whenever possible, to be able to go to the shelf and look at the bottles, be like, I've got a dog with anxiety. Oh, the CBD
Calm
that says
makes
calm
sense.
on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
My dog
So-
needs some mushrooms for their tummy troubles. Oh, digest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think there's also a promo code if
Yes.
people are listening. If you want to get a little extra discount while you're at Global, the promo code is Pet Shop Girls. Plus, you guys are being so generous and you're given some type of a goodie to put into our inaugural trade show, Pet Shop Girls
Goodie
Indie Insider
bags.
goodie bags. Yes, you have to be an Indie Insider member, which is our private pet industry Facebook group. But we'll have a limited number of bags at Global, and some of your products will be in there.
Yeah.
And so you can see it hands on. And
Absolutely.
So
and
thank
please
you so
come
much.
please come to my talk on the 26th at 11 because we've got some goodies that we're going to give away that are exclusive to the folks who come to the booth. I'm going to talk about the senior dog study, some other research. Again,
It's your own personal Carter talk.
It is.
Who's Ted? Like, we don't even know who that
Who's
is. This is a
Ted?
Carter talk.
Old news.
Yeah. Right. Or we could just call it C Talk.
Nice. I like that.
Come to my
Wait,
C-Talk.
I need you on the marketing team.
Well,
what are you doing after this?
All right. Well, I think this was awesome.
This has been great.
I again, self-proclaimed mushroom pusher in my own store. I love mushrooms. I love the stuff that you guys are doing to get mushrooms out into mainstream so that people don't think it's the woo-woo witchy magic that many scientists might say that it is. And I love that the fact that you guys have published the study in a scientific publication, hopefully more and more vets start to see this. Because I know that when I talk about the benefits of mushrooms and why we want to include mushrooms and getting mushrooms in the diet all the time, and a lot of times my customers will be like, okay, well, I just want to talk to my vet about this. I'm like, you can.
Yeah.
But my suspicion is that your vet probably won't know much about mushrooms and how they can help. So this maybe will get us one step closer to having more vets understanding the power of mushrooms.
That was the whole point of this research. And one of the most striking patterns that we found throughout the process is people would report, I noticed these changes in my pet and I brought it to my vet and they told me that there was nothing we can do.
Yes.
So we want to challenge that assumption that degeneration and discomfort and dissociation are just this thing that you have to accept as your dogs get older.
Your pet. Because remember,
there are tools for this.
Yeah. And like what we learned from Dr. Katie Kangas, age is not a disease. So just because your dog is older, and I guess I say this to customers all the time, and this was kind of what you were saying too, Carter, like when I was trying to like pin you down on like what are the symptoms that we're going to hear about. At the end of the day, every pet parent knows their animal best. So when you start to see something that, oh, Fluffy has never done that before, and why is all of a sudden he doing it every day? When something starts to happen, and that's when we go to the vet, and the vet says, well, they're just an old dog. There's nothing you can do. Now we know that there are tools in our toolbox to assist in the aging process. That is,
and hopefully more vets hear about this, and they see this research, or somebody's neighbor tried this, and they bring this paper to a vet and say, "Have you looked at this?"
Yes. Is that something you guys are doing? Are you like cold inboxing a bunch of vets around North America with your mushroom study? That's an idea.
I mean, I'm pounding the pavement. I'm trying to get as many people out there to understand that. This is my passion. I've learned so much about it. I mean, I have my dad on our Clarity formula because dementia runs in my family, and we've seen some changes in him, and the same things that I'm seeing reported in the dogs in our cohort, I'm seeing my dad experience. So it's like, it's deeply personal. And I'm so happy
Yeah.
to be able to have this be my work, to focus on just sharing this and creating new
impact the
information.
world.
Yeah, you guys
So-
need to go to like veterinarian conferences or something with this.
We do.
But-
We'll be at
with your products.
AHVMA this year.
Awesome. Good.
Yep.
Awesome. All
And
right.
on your trip to Regina, Carter.
Ah,
Yeah.
well,
On your
how
trip
did you
to
know?
Yeah,
I'll be there
because
next
I'm
week.
booking it. Yeah.
I love the winter in Regina.
Well, okay. On your
That's where
on
I
your
always do my summer vacays is in Regina.
on
Yep.
your spring trip to Regina, be sure to bring lots of clarity for my parents.
Certainly.
Yeah, because I continue to have these arguments when I'm like, remember when I was a kid and you said this? That never happened. Oh my God, it totally did. And so I
Yes.
call it Parzheimer's is what they have. They have partial Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
But,
selective.
I remember the things they don't. Anyways, okay. Yes, well that would be, I'm going to hook you up with vets when you come to Regina because you're coming to Regina.
I would love to.
Especially when
I
MycoDog
accept
comes
your
to Canada.
invitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take me back to the homeland.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, sir. We know that you are very busy. You are out there spreading the word about mushrooms. We appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Oh, it's my
Sherry is going to
pleasure.
pop by the booth for sure. I will not see you at Global, unfortunately, but I will
But
at
hopefully
Super Zoo.
at Super Zoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Vegas.
And you'll see
Yeah.
me in Regina when you.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just going to keep hounding you to do it. All right. Well, I think this was awesome. I think there's lots of promise and hope on the horizon, especially when it comes to the power of mushrooms. So until next time, Pet Pro, bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay, so real talk, Pet Pro. Sherry has been on the hunt for good custom bags for like ever.
Seriously, I've been looking for years. Everything was either too expensive, had insane minimums, or just didn't feel right. Then I found Aardvark, and it was like, finally.
Oh my God, you were so excited when those t-shirt bags came in.
I was ecstatic. I felt like I finally achieved retail excellence. They're beautiful, sturdy, and having our logo on them makes us look super polished.
And he does custom poop bags too, right?
Yes, he customizes the box and the little sticker that holds the rolls together. I put my logo on it. It's all branded and it makes a difference. Those details matter.
And his prices are super competitive.
Honestly, way better than anything else I've found. And he's great to work with. Super responsive, no weird hoops to jump through, just easy.
So if you've been putting this off, now's the time. Check out aardvarkpet.com. You'll thank us later.
That's ARTVARK pet.com. And if you want a $600 design pack for free, and to avoid those pesky setup fees, plus get 10% off your first order, be sure to mention the Pet Shop Girls sent you.
All right, Pet Pro, that's it for this week.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe.
Just hit all the buttons.
And if you want more, join us in the Indie Insider, our private Facebook group for pet pros.
Then you'll never miss the podcast that makes you sit, stay, and beg for more. The Pet Shop Girls.
Pet Shop Girls.
Did you know loyalty is built in micro moments?
Every smile and thank you matters.
Can we just say something out loud for a second? Business coaching does not have to cost hundreds of dollars a month.
It really doesn't. And yet somehow our industry has normalized paying massive retainers for someone to tell you what you already know you should be doing, but not how to do it.
Exactly. You should send emails. Cool. How? You should run events. Great. What kind? You should train your staff. Okay. With what system? That's why we created the Pet Shop Girls Off the Record Substack.
Because inside Off the Record, we don't just talk about what to do, we break down exactly how we do it in our own stores and businesses.
That's right. The spreadsheets, the playbooks, the templates, the systems, the scripts. We've already done the trial and error so you don't have to burn cash figuring it out.
If something worked for us, we show you how to implement it. If something flopped, we tell you that too. It's real-world, indie-tested strategy.
This is business coaching for pet pros who actually want to grow without paying $200, $800, or $2,000 a month for vague motivation.
You get proven strategies you can apply immediately to increase revenue, build stronger teams, and run a smarter operation.
If you've ever thought, I just need someone to show me exactly how they're doing this, Off the Record is where that happens.
Come behind the scenes with us.
Join Pet Shop Girls Off the Record on Substack. The link is in our show notes.